Prince William is poised to erase the Sussex brand, titles, status, storyline, gone in one royal heartbeat. And Harry? The exiled spare, who turned a crown into content. Meghan? A duchess who treated the palace like a launch pad and now faces the bill. In the next few minutes, you'll see the timeline insiders whisper about, the legal moves a new king can actually make, what would vanish first, the backlash calculus on both sides of the Atlantic, and the tiny window Harry has left before the door bolts shut, possibly forever. Here's the reality check no one wants to say aloud. The countdown doesn't start when William takes the throne. It started the moment Harry chose Hollywood over household. The day Charles's reign ends, a new era begins, and William's first signal won't be a speech. It'll be a scalpel. Streamlined the monarchy. Close the leaks. Remove the confusion. And the sharpest cut would land on the House of Sussex. Let's separate noise from mechanism. There are two stacks on the desk of a future king. Stack 1. Styles and royal status. That's her Royal Highness, and who counts as prince or princess. This can be changed by new letters patent from the reigning monarch. Translation: a king can redraw the map of who is styled royal, who uses HRH, and who doesn't. Stack 2. Peerages, the dukedom itself. Different beast. A dukedom is a hereditary peerage created by letters patent, and stripping it outright is not a flick of the pen moment. Historically, removing a peerage has required parliament. Could a king restrict usage, freeze it, or make it functionally meaningless? Yes. Could he unilaterally vaporize the dukedom with no legislative path? That's far murkier. So the immediate, high-impact play isn't nuke the dukedom. It's close the tap of royal status. Now, walk the timeline. Day 1. Operation Continuity. William inherits a commonwealth, a constitution, and a PR nightmare with a news cycle measured in seconds. Expect a sober address, a promise of service, and, quietly, paperwork. Letters patent can tighten HRH usage, reaffirm the working royals only principle, and clarify that prince/princess styling tracks duty, not celebrity. That single stroke would freeze HRH for the Sussex adults and shut the door on Archie and Lilibet holding prince/princess status going forward. No spectacle. No months of debate. Just a crisp legal instrument filed and done. But why do it? Because the monarchy William intends to run is small, disciplined, and boring, in the best possible way. The royal family thrives when nothing happens and everything works. It suffocates when private feuds become public content. Strip away the romance and you get strategy. Fewer principles, less risk, tighter message, clearer value for the taxpayer. When the brand is duty, a California media arm that trades on the crown while scorning the court is not a feature. It's a liability. Let's talk stakes for the Sussexes. Today, Harry is still His Royal Highness Prince Henry, Duke of Sussex, styles he agreed not to use but didn't legally lose. Meghan is Duchess of Sussex. Archie and Lilibet, by virtue of being the grandchildren of a monarch, picked up prince/princess styling under existing rules. A new king's letters patent can change that map. Practically, the first domino is HRH, frozen, clarified, or explicitly removed from non-working royals. The second is the children's styling, redefined to exclude descendants who are not part of the working core. Do that, and the Sussex footprint inside the institution goes from ambiguous to absent. Now the blowback math. In the UK, polls have drifted steadily. Sympathy fatigue has set in. A tough, tidy reform, working royals only, will read as common sense to many. In the US, the optics are trickier. America loves reinvention arcs. A future king cutting titles from two little kids will look, to some, like punishment for their parents' choices. That's why the framing matters. William won't pitch this as vengeance. He'll pitch it as governance. A lean, modern crown that mirrors the Scandinavian playbook. Fewer titled minors, less confusion, more normal childhoods outside the constitutional blast zone. None of this happens in a vacuum. The road here runs through 2018's Fairy Tale, 2020's Break, the Oprah shockwaves, the Netflix confessional, and a memoir that detonated family privacy to sell unprecedented access. Each step narrowed the off-ramp. Each tell-all raised the cost of reconciliation. The palace plays a long game. The Sussex strategy chased short-term narrative wins that became long-term institutional losses. That's not moral judgment. It's power math. So what would day 1 to day 90 actually look like? First, a private briefing to the Privy Council, intention to modernize styles and streamline roles. Second, legal drafting, Tight language that closes loopholes and ends tidal drift without triggering unnecessary constitutional fights. Third, rollout. A firm, non-inflammatory notice in the London Gazette and a mirrored statement on the royal website. No victory laps. No leaks from courtiers polishing their egos. The palace's message discipline works when the text is dull and the effect is seismic. Where does that leave Archie and Lilibet? With something their parents claim to want for them. Normalcy. No titles to weaponize, no HRH to litigate in headlines, no weird half-in/half-out limbo. School, friends, summer camps, a last name that doesn't double as a news alert. Critics will call it cruel, supporters will call it clarity. Either way, it's clean, and clean wins in constitutional monarchies. And Harry? He's at a fork. Path 1. Reconcile before the paperwork. Accept boundaries, stop trading family intimacy for audience retention, and recover at least the option of soft reintegration over time. Path 2. Double down on independence, keep the brand loud and the bridges burned, and watch the last formal ties dissolve with a signature he can't appeal. Pride will push one way. Reality will eventually push the other. The clock doesn't care. What about Meghan? She's the easiest PR foil and the worst strategic target. Any move that looks like singling her out backfires instantly in the US. William won't make it personal. He'll make it structural. No names, no blame, just rules. That's how you remove oxygen from a media wildfire. You don't argue with it. You starve it. Let's tackle the dukedom head-on, because this is where rumors outrun law. Could a future king strip the Sussex dukedom? Not with the same speed or simplicity as a style change. Historically, deprivation of a peerage is a parliamentary matter. Could it be attempted? Possibly. Is it necessary? Not really. If HRH is closed and prince/princess styling is rewritten, the dukedom becomes a ceremonial label with no institutional leverage. Why stage a constitutional brawl when you can make the trophy irrelevant? And the global ripple. Commonwealth realms are hypersensitive to optics. A transparent, principle-based reform, no titles for non-working descendants, plays far better than a bespoke punishment for one branch of the family. Quietly, other monarchies have already moved this direction. Denmark slimmed titles. Sweden streamlined the royal house. The world didn't end. The brand got clearer. So here's the unvarnished bottom line. William doesn't need revenge. He needs control. Not control of his brother's life. Control of the crown's perimeter. The Sussex saga proved the old fences were too low. Day 1 is fence-building day. Make the royal house small. Make the rules simple. Make the exceptions disappear. If you're Harry, that's the message beneath the silence. There will be no public feud, no dramatic showdown, no televised catharsis. Just a letter, a law, and a legacy that moves on without you. If you're Meghan, the smart play is exactly what she's already signaled. Build an American life that doesn't need a British prefix. If you're Archie and Lilibet, the gift hidden in the sting is this. Anonymity is the one privilege a palace can't manufacture after the cameras arrive. And if you're William, the cruelest line in the job description is also the clearest. A king protects the crown first, the family second, and feelings last. The Sussex titles sit at the intersection of all three. That's why the decision feels inevitable. Not because he hates his brother. Because the institution cannot keep bleeding for a storyline. When the moment comes. Don't expect fireworks. Expect paperwork. Don't expect a war. Expect a wall. The Sussex era inside the House of Windsor began with a balcony wave and ends with a paragraph in the Gazette. And years from now, historians won't write about a feud. They'll write about a reform. The day King William made the monarchy smaller, on purpose, and closed a chapter that never knew when to end.